I would like to talk to you today about mostly the review lessons for set 2 and set 3. I'm just going to start by reminding you that at this point we only have 6 or 7 weeks left until the year 1 PSC. So with that in mind, we need to make sure we've got the 5-layer approach to Read Write Ink firmly in the top of our minds at all times. So obviously that starts with daily lessons for all children, afternoon sessions for all children. Those afternoon speed sound sessions are taught in exactly the same way that you deliver your morning speed sound session. I know previously they have altered the teaching sequence very slightly with the reviewers especially. It's now taught exactly the same way as a morning session, so no need to change anything. You can pick that back up and use it again if you need to. As well as this, we also want to offer children practice sessions using the virtual classroom. So targeting these towards those children who maybe are not on track or maybe just on track that you're still maybe a little bit concerned about, giving them the option of using the virtual classroom to target sounds that they really need. So as well as this, layer number 4, we're offering fast track tutoring to the bottom 20%. We need to make sure this is happening daily, non-negotiably from now on, to make sure that by June, all of the children in the bottom 20% are ready to take the PSC and ready to succeed. And then on top of this, home reading. So making sure that books are still going home, targeted towards the sounds children know, and make sure that they're reading these fluently at home as well. So I'd like to speak to you about the review lessons. So Read Write Ink have changed the teaching sequence very slightly and just made it more explicit about what they'd like to be taught on which days. So now when we get to set 2 and set 3, rather than teaching 1 sound every day, we're moving to teaching 3 sounds a week. I've implemented this in my school and we've seen the benefits of this already. So usually, for example, with set 2, there's not that many sounds. You've covered them in 3 weeks' time and you just start again and then you start again. And you often find when you get to the end, A might not be as embedded. When you start again, it feels like you're really starting from the beginning. But now, because we're only going to be teaching 3 sounds per week, they are much more embedded. And we've seen this at our latest assessment point, that those sounds were much more embedded and the children were much more confident to read new and unfamiliar words with those sounds in. So what we're doing now is on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's business as usual. You're teaching a new sound. So for 3 days a week, you teach them a new sound in exactly the same way, following exactly the same teaching steps. But when we get to a Thursday and a Friday, we're going to introduce the review lesson. Now, it's got slightly different teaching steps, but not anything drastic. So when we get to Thursday, we're going to start with review the sounds. So we're now no longer going to pick up our big card and teach them a new sound to start the lesson. We're going straight to our small pack of review sounds. So I'm going to just talk you through it as if I'd just taught this week A, E and I from set 2. So I've done A Monday, E Tuesday, I Wednesday. On Thursday, in my small pack, which I'm going straight to at the beginning of my lesson, I need to make sure there's A, E and I in here. Now, if I get to an A, E or I and it's not very secure, I'm going to abandon the review lesson and reteach that sound in exactly the same way that I taught it in the first place. If, however, I do my review pack, A, E and I quite secure and I'm happy to move on, I'm going to follow the steps for a review lesson. So I'm starting with my small speed sound pack. I've gone through that and now I'm going to word time straight away. So we're losing all of that my turn, your turn, starting off teaching with a sound. It's speed sound review, word time. So this document on the screen under set 2 review lessons, this is available on the online subscription. It's under virtual classroom and then useful documents. It just says set 2 review lesson. So if I've done A, E and I, I've done my review sounds. In my first pile of words, I'm going to have 6 words as usual, and there's going to be 2A, 2E, 2I. But in that first pile, one of your A, E and I is going to be a harder multisyllabic word. You can download those from Oxford Owl and print them out. So an A, E and I with multisyllabics, and then an A, E and I from my core normal green word pack, but they're the trickier versions. So they suggest on here spray, fright and sleep. So we've got 4 5-sound words in there. So that pile 1 is quite challenging, as it would be if we just taught them a new sound. So I'm going to do that in the exact same way as normal as I would do with a pile 1. It's just special friends, Fret Talk, read the word. And then they just read those once. Then in my review pile, my second pile, 6 words again. I'm going to have another A, E and I, but my A, E and I this time are for example, day, 3 and light. So easier ones from your core green pack. So 2, 3 sound words. And then whilst we're on set 2, I'm going to have 3 set 1 words in there as well. So either 4 or 5 sound words or set 1 special friends. And I'm going to read those the same as I would my review pile from a normal lesson, starting with special friends, Fred Talk Read the Word, Fred in your head, and then speedy reading. And then moving on to my reading assessment. So I'm doing my alien words now, just 3 words, an A, an E, and an I. And then what I would do, so that's Thursday, for example, and on Friday, I'm repeating that same lesson, except I'm changing the words. So now I'm going to have crayon, midnight needle, play, light, and green, for example. And then my review words are going to change and my reading assessment words will change. So Friday and Thursday, exact same teaching steps, you're just changing what's in your word time pile. The only difference, slight difference, is if you're on set 3. So for example, if you're on set 3 and you've just taught E, Oi and A, in your review words, you're going to have an E, Oi and A that you've just taught, but you're also going to have an E, an A, from set 2. So you're going to have the alternate graphemes in there. So if you've done A, make a cake, you'll have A, may I play. If you've done E, cup of tea, you'll have an E, what can you see? So when you're in set 3, and you'll see on the on this review lesson document that as you go through, there's always an alternate grapheme in the review words to make sure that they're seeing those different versions of the same sound. And then when we move on to spelling with Fred fingers, you're going to have 2 or 3 A, E, I, and then 2 or 3 review sounds as well, just depending on how many words you do as a school. So I hope that all makes sense. This document here with the weekly plan, this is what Kelly has sent out, which we can resend. And these 2 sort of blueprint lesson plans for what to include in your piles of words, they're on the online portal under virtual classroom, useful documents, set 2 and set 3 review lessons.